Hey party people. I know it's been a minute since I've given an update. I've been healing, spending time with friends, and really honestly just enjoying being in my apartment. I am so grateful that I enjoy being home. So I have not felt any type of cabin fever. I need to get out. Being home has been great. But I want to start off by saying thank you so much to Latricia, my friend who came in town the Sunday before surgery, and she was the one here with me that first week of surgery. And then when she left, Tashana came into town and was here with me. And when Tashana left, Michelle came in town and was here with me. And then when Michelle left, Carmen came to town and was here with me. In between, I had my friend Monet, who was here to support me. She's one of the reasons why I moved to Charlotte. So her and her husband were fantastic with like setting up a space for my friends to have a place to sleep while they were here. Monet also took me to my post-op appointments. And then I had some other people, Shamari, Nicole, both Nicoles. I have two friends named Nicole who stopped by to just check on me to make sure that I was good. So people who physically came into my space. And then all those who just made sure if I needed a ride to get somewhere. Aisha, my friend Kasai, so many people made sure that if I needed to get somewhere that I got there. And then my friends who were out of town, like I said, the four friends that I named initially bought plane tickets to be here with me. And I 100% believe that that is one of the reasons why I had such a great recovery. I had the most amazing support system. But let's talk about me first, and then I'm going to go into that a little bit. So I am officially 6-week post hysterectomy. I feel really good in my body. When I went to my post-op appointment, I was 8 pounds down. Of course, I had a 5.6 fibroid, so that most likely contributed to a good amount of that weight loss. And I was cleared to be more intentional in like moving my body and working out a little bit more. So I've been doing I have like this little stair stepper in my apartment. When it's beautiful outside, I try to go for about a mile, and I try to go to 2 miles, but I usually end up doing like 1.5 miles of just walking around. And then just to keep making sure that I'm moving my body, I gonna start doing some home workouts. So I have the Fit On app and I have the Nike app, so I can just do like within my personal apartment some working out. And then my goal is to build up to like lifting. My ultimate goal weight wise is not necessarily has to do with my hysterectomy, but just in general is what it actually does, but is to get down to under 200 pounds. So the last time I got weighed, I was 237, I want to say. Somewhere around there, and I started out at 245, something like that. But so that's the difference there. And that was also just encouraging to be able to have lost some weight. But also one of the reasons why it was difficult for me to work out is doing like sit-ups and crunches and anything other than walking. And really walking hurt too, but anything other than walking, it hurts. It aggravated my uterus. I would start to cramp. So I just basically gave up on working out. So that has been amazing. And I know everyone's different. So I want to throw that caution out there. Everyone is different when it comes to this healing journey. My healing was so smooth. The first week was atrocious, absolutely horrible. Getting out and out of the bed was like, how am I going to survive this? It was bad the first week, but bad is also relative because I was literally cut from my bikini line to my belly button. So the way I was cut even required much more intention. I had a cough post-surgery, which no one told me about, and that was horrible. Every time I got ready to cough, I had to I should have brought it over here, my hysterectomy pillow, which I still use. I had to hold it, lean over to get as tight as I could, and then get the cough out as soft. It was so bad. Oh my gosh, the cough was bad. So I don't know if that's a thing. No one warned me about it. I asked the doctor, and the person who got back to me said that it might just be allergies. And I was like, no. I didn't have any of this pre-surgery. So this has to be a symptom of surgery. So for me, I had that. I actually had another friend who had a myomectomy the day after my surgery, and she had over 10 fibroids removed. Same thing, she had a cough too. So I'm assuming it has something to do with surgery, but they don't warn you about a cough. It is horrible. My friend who had a C-section warned me about sneezing and coughing. So she's the one who taught me what to do. My friend Carmen, who had a hysterectomy. She's the one who like told me to rub my scar. Like once the glue started to like soften and come off a little bit, she's the one that said that I should like rub my scar, which I'm so glad she told me to do that, because once the internal scar tissue hit week 3, so week 1 was horrible, right? I got to week 2 and I was doing good, wasn't on meds for real. Took my medication faithfully during week 1, and week 2 a little bit. Week 2 I was able to taper off. Week 3 I was feeling good, right? I was doing stuff. My friend was like, "You moving too much, sit down." And I was like putting dishes away. But that Tuesday, I went to like just kind of bend over, and inside was hard. It was like something was like coming through inside my body, going down to like the bottom of my fupa. I don't know what area that is called. It hurt so bad. So I learned that was the scar tissue inside forming to heal my body. That was horrible. I can still feel it, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. And it was so bad. It was so bad, but it wasn't like I needed to take medication. It was weird. It was just like, I just need to let this process. So I just kind of massaged it. I had to like hold it up and like massage under my stomach, because my stomach is still big. But that was pretty bad. So those are the 2 times that I can say like this surgery was bad, but it was bad again, according to the fact that I had major surgery. After that, I've been, back to normal, back to normal, but not fully, because I'm still definitely healing. Yesterday I went and spent some time with a friend, and I woke up today like, oh, this is icky. I went to a church service week 3, the end of week 3. Yeah, end of week 3, I went to a church service and had to like sit down through part of worship. It was like a worship night. And that was the second time I had been out since surgery. So I had gone out to dinner week 1, which was a lot. I went to the church service week 3, and then week 3, the weekend of week 3, I also went out to like drove around town, and I could feel like, I was like, oh, it doesn't hurt, but I can feel it. So now that we are week 6, I've had my post-op appointment. Like I said, my doctor's cleared me to do more intentional like movement activity. Still can't like lift weights or anything like that, but I am upping my workouts. And I'm really excited about that. She was so amazing. I had the best surgeon. Again, another reason why I think my recovery was so good is because my OB she was wonderful. I intentionally, for myself as a Black woman, wanted a Black woman. I've had my first doctors were white women, and I just didn't feel like they fully listened or understood or cared. I don't know what the word is, and I don't want to attribute that to skin color, but I do want to attribute it to like a commonality. And it was like, some people like to go to women OBs because it's like, oh, I have a woman, she understands me. Some women like to go to men because men are a little bit more compassionate. Sorry, all these alarms keep going off. So it just kind of depends on like that circumstance for you to make the best decision for you. For me, I wanted a woman physician. I wanted a Black woman physician. It was really important for me to, I'm so sorry for all these alarms. It was really important for me to have a woman who looked like me, because it wasn't just she had to look like me, like as a Black woman. I needed her to feel like she had compassion for me, that she cared about me, that the concerns that I had were valid. And I feel like my doctor did that. So I went to, her name is Dr. Brandy Adams, and One Health, I think is the name of the facility. I wrote a review on her. She was so amazing. But even from the day that I like walked in the office and I was like, yep, I want hysterectomy. And she's like, okay, why? What's going on? And I told her, and she was like, oh yeah. And so then she felt my body immediately. When she felt my stomach, she was like, oh, I'm gonna have to give you a vertical incision. Like she was so understanding. She asked, like, was I sure that I didn't want children? Like all the proper things, but she didn't make me feel bad for the choice that I've made for myself to not be a parent. She understood that and didn't try to convince me of a different type of surgery. She was like, if this is what you want, this is what we're gonna do. Here's why it makes sense for you to do that. When she saw my ultrasound, she was like, my friend, you must be in so much pain like all the time. And I was like, yes. And I was like, finally, someone who understands me, but isn't trying to like give me alternate solutions. And I'll have a whole nother conversation about like my medical experience leading up to finally having this surgery. But specifically for Dr. Brandy Adams, amazing. She was fantastic. Highly recommend her as an OB. And yeah, so just a reminder, I had a total abdominal hysterectomy with salpingectomy, which means that I had my uterus, my fallopian tubes, and my cervix removed. And I still have my ovaries, so I didn't go into early menopause. I have not had any extreme symptoms. I do get hot sooner, which I don't know if that, I mean, I feel like that has to do more with age. I'm 5 years before I should be premenopausal. So I think the reason why I've been getting warmer sooner is because of that, but I haven't been having any type of hot flashes. I'm not like taking off clothes. I usually just open up my window and I'm like good. So that has been really amazing. I have been doing a lot of reading. I read 2 books this weekend alone, or this past week alone. They were so good. Highly recommend. I want to do now some more content posts as I continue to update my surgery journey, or my fibroid and hysterectomy journey. I want to do some content around some of the books that I've been reading. And as you can see, I have a limited library. But back to the point. I'm doing really well. I feel really good. I'm resting better. I'm not lethargic. Like all the things. And it's almost scary. My friend texted me and was like, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? My friend who's had multiple surgeries for her fibroids. But she potentially wants children, so she's decided to just keep having the procedures that hopefully preserves her uterus. But I text her and I was like, I can say this to you because you'll understand what I'm saying. I feel really good. And that's almost scary to say. And it comes from a couple different places. As a woman who did a lot of inner work to become the person that I like. I did not like myself for a long time. So I did a lot of peace work, like a lot of time with the Lord and just praying and asking him, God, like, who do you see for me to be? How am I supposed to represent you? How can I see you in me? I did a lot of that work. Therapy, which I'm still looking for a new therapist. But I did a lot of inner work. So to be able to say this statement comes from the work that I did, but also is kind of scary in the sense that I felt this way. But I was like, it's almost scary that I feel this good. And she's like, no, I understand what you mean. It's hard. Like for people who have not been lethargic and exhausted or never knowing, like tracking your period, but never knowing when it's really going to come and having bags of pads with you all the time or any type of sanitary products, extra underwear. I used to have to go home from work, like going all the way back to high school. I used to have to go home from high school, but then even as an adult, I'll be at work and I used to have a standing desk and I'll be at work just working and next thing you know, blood will just come running down my leg and I would have to go home and shower. And it was horrible to live like that for over 8 years. And to finally it's still like, I still keep waiting for my period to come, right? Like it's been a month in the context of like when I should have be started having another period by now, right? Or I've had 2 periods by now, actually, because sometimes I would have multiple periods in a month. And it's still weird that I'm waiting and it hasn't come. I do believe I still have some of the symptoms because the other day I was super emotional and I still kept my period tracker to kind of see. And I was like, oh yeah, this is when I would like be PMSing. So I was super emotional, just kind of felt overwhelmed in my body. So I still have some of the things that attribute to womanhood in that context. But even as I'm explaining this to you, my mind is like, what? How is it that I feel this good? And I haven't even been able to like legit embrace being able to work out and get the body that I want. So this is my 6-week update. It's kind of all over the place, but I wanted to take time to acknowledge that I'm feeling good in my body. Oh, I wanted to also talk about my scar. So I went to my post-op appointment and my doctor looks at my scar and she's like, wow, my friend, you have really good healing properties. Like even my mom, when I showed my mom on FaceTime my scar, she was like, wow, like you can't see. So my mom had a stroke, so she has aphasia, and sometimes it's the way she processes words externally, sometimes it's hard to understand, but she was like, wow, it's just so. And my belief is she was saying it looks really good is what she was saying. But my doctor even was like, this is amazing. And I told her, I was like, oh, I thought this is because of the way you cut me. And she's like, no, I did what I'm supposed to do as a surgeon. Your body just responded properly, and properly in the sense of I don't have like an internal like raised hard incision. My skin is almost smooth there. It looks like I had a cut, but it does not look like the examples that I saw so many women had post-surgery. I didn't keloid, which is normal in Black women or typical, or many Black women do experience things like keloiding when they get cut. my scar looks amazing. So I'm so grateful for that. Again, for me, an individual, I attribute the fact that my recovery has been so good is because of the community around me. Well, before that, because to get to the community, I had to do a lot of inner work. I did a lot of work, like I said, on becoming the person that I liked. I wanted to be a person that, like, she's dope, right? So because for so long, I was a person I didn't like. I thought I was ugly. I thought I wasn't worth it. I thought all of these things, which is so amazing because I came from a family who showered me with love and affection and compassion. But life, just as I got to school and the bullying and all that, just made me think that I was worthless. And of course, the enemy will use every tool that he can to like combat that. So really drowning myself like in the word and asking God, who do you see for me to be? How should I be moving through the earth? How do I become a person that I like? And then from that, I was able to meet the friends, the community that I've created, where friends were willing to fly. I didn't ask. I just told them I was having surgery. I said, pray for me, be here to support me. And and not even just the friends that physically showed up, because that's like just like a different level. That's the over and above. That's exceedingly and abundantly far beyond anything that we can think or ask. The immeasurably more, right? The friends flying here to be with me. But the amount of people who just rallied around me, who gave money to my food train, who called and checked on me, who messaged me on Instagram, the amount of people who have come and said, hey, Alika, I've had the surgery, I'm having a similar surgery, I'm having a myomectomy, I have fibroids, is overwhelming, frustrating, and annoying, because it should not be this bad for women. It just shouldn't. Again, focusing on my healing. So I did a lot of inner work. It created the community that I have around me. And then that is why I believe that my surgery recovery has been so smooth, is the work that I did, the spiritual work that I did, the emotional work that I did, and then building a friendship of community. So that's the highest recommendation I can give you. I do have more information coming along, like other ways that I actually physically prepped my body. So some of the workouts I was trying to do to try to get a little healthier before surgery, the foods that I was eating. So I will share that with you. But I wanted to at least come with a 6 week update that I'm doing well, that I feel good. And I hope to be back next week is my goal, with some more information that kind of helps, like what I did to prepare for actual surgery, how I found my doctor, all of that. So stay tuned for more content there. Thank you for being here for this kind of not random, but I didn't really think through. I just was like, I got to get on here and give the people an update because God has been faithful. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you come back again and see what I have to share with you about leading up to surgery. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching.